Namaste. I am Professor Ramakant Mohalik, State Coordinator for Jharkhand. I welcome all of you to the 3 days capacity building program for diet and JCERT faculties. The main intention of this program is to develop skills and competency of faculty members to discharge their duty effectively and efficiently. This program emerges out of discussion at the Department of Education, in discussion with the Principal Professor P.C. Agarwal. Then we have finalized certain topics that we feel this is important for teacher educators, because you are all teacher educators working in diet and JCERT. You have to play great role in the quality improvement of school education and teacher education. You have given a very significant role in the implementation of National Education Policy 2020. Therefore, this 3 days training program is very essential, very important for all of you to develop your professionalism. Let me give a brief idea about the content of the training program. As I told, you are all teacher educators. You are recently joined with diets and JCERT from your school. You know, teaching at the school level and teaching at diet or JCERT is something different. In the school level, you are dealing with the children, but at the diet level, you are dealing with the adults. So there is a difference. Teaching in school and teaching in diet, and especially when you are dealing with the adult and in-service teachers. You need to be oriented. You need to be created awareness so that you can develop your skill and competency to make training, especially to make the teacher training effective and efficient. So to keep you developing as a professional, you need to be updated in education pedagogy and also in the technology. So therefore, there are total 12 sessions are planned during this 3 day training program. Every day we are having 4 sessions, and the sessions will be taken by most experienced senior faculty members of Regional Institute of Education, and they are from different departments. And you will find here how a person of science can become a teacher educator, how a person from a social science background can become a teacher educator. So how, the content person transfer themselves as a teacher educators. I think that is something, the intention of this program. And during this program, we'll be discussing some of the very important topics. The topics like learning outcomes. Learning outcome is the starting point of education. Last 3 to 5 years, the government of India has giving emphasis on learning outcomes. So we want to make education as an outcome based. That is something, outcome based education, competency based education. Each and every child should attain some level of competency, some level of learning outcome at the end of each class. And therefore, all stakeholders, including teachers, students, parents, head teachers, must be aware about different learning outcomes at different school levels. So this learning outcome will help you as a teacher educator to organize training program. Learning outcome will help you as a teacher educator to organize pre-service as well as in-service training program. You can better monitor the school functioning, the teachers teaching, and different school activities. So therefore, one session will be devoted on learning outcomes, its importance, how it is helpful for stakeholders, and followed to the learning outcome. One of the very essential aspect is also there. So that is assessment. We will also discuss during this program the different modalities of assessments, the innovations that taken place in the assessment, because assessment is important. Learning outcome at one end, at the end, at another end, we have assessments. All the teachers and teacher educators must be familiar with the nature of assessments, the changing nature of assessments, the holistic assessment as proposed by National Education Policy. So we'll discuss on that, the different modalities, different tools and techniques, and especially the use of assessment technique for improving the quality of education. We have one more session on very important, I think very relevant for the teacher educators, the research and innovations. Nowadays, everybody is giving emphasis on research and innovation. As a teacher educator, you should do research. You should also motivate and encourage teachers to do the research, because research is only means through which educational problems can be solved. The educational issues can be tackled, and we need more and more local specific research, district level research, so that we can find out the problems, especially the educational problems at the school level, at the block level, at the district level, and therefore you should know how to conduct the research. I'm not expecting from you will be researcher at the basic level, but you are researcher at the practitioner level, I mean. So as a professional, you have to do certain kind of research. Then when we are talking about pedagogy and the recent pedagogy, National Education Policy has suggested some of the recent pedagogy, the innovative pedagogy, experiential learning, sports integrated pedagogy, art integrated pedagogy, game-based, toy-based pedagogy, story-based pedagogy. I think these are very important for school education. As a teacher educator, you should be familiar with how to organize school activities or how to teach in the school by using experiential learning methods. So therefore, complete session is devoted on innovations in pedagogy, the innovative pedagogy, and especially because we will have a great role to play in the implementation of National Education Policy, and which emphasizes on experiential learning. So we are teacher educator, we are not familiar with the experiential learning. So therefore, you need to understand how to organize experiential learning in the school, how to provide experiential learning at the school level. Not only that, there is a concept of integrated pedagogy. There is a focus on ICT integration in the teaching. The NCERT and CIET, Central Institute of Educational Technology, has worked very hard during the Corona period to develop e-contents, to develop different, the video materials, including PowerPoint presentations, graphics, animations relating to school content, school education. And therefore, as a teacher educator, So you should know what are the different initiatives taken by the government, central government and the state government for the cause of education. And this is something I mean the digital initiatives. The digital initiatives like PM Vidya program, the Diksha training portal, the NISTA program, and the e-Parsala. I think there are so many digital initiatives taken by the government. As a teacher educator, you should familiarize it. Once you go back to the diet, you can popularize, you can share the information. Because what is happening, of course, we are spending a lot of money in creating digital infrastructure and digital initiatives, including the video content. But what we see, the users are less. Many times teachers don't know. The student, they are not familiar. So therefore, as a teacher educator, you have to popularize the digital initiatives of the government of India and the government of states, so that our students, our stakeholders can gain benefit from the digital initiatives. I think that is very, very important. And one of the very, very important component of school education is the guidance and counseling. Guidance and counseling is an integral part of schooling. So like, every school should have a provision of offering guidance and counseling. And the need for guidance counseling has increased manifold recently. Because of Corona, the necessity of guidance counseling has, multiplied. Therefore, as a teacher educator, you should know, different techniques of guidance counseling, how to help the learner, how to help the teacher to deal with the stress, to deal with the exam anxiety, deal with the other pressures. So therefore, one complete session is there. We can discuss about the things like the guidance and counseling. So our principal will discuss on national education policy, the different important recommendation for school education, teacher education, the operation modalities. What will be the role of teacher? What will be the role of teacher educator? What will be the role of JCERT? What will be the role of diets? Even NCERT. That our principal will discuss on that, and followed by we can have a discussion about the learning resources. As a teacher, we have to create learning resources. You may heard the term like low cost, no cost resources. At the school level, what kind of resources like model charts that a teacher can develop? As a teacher educator, you have to guide the teachers how to develop the different resources. Even there will be discussion on writing textbook. So what are the principles should be followed when we write the textbook? What are the guidelines? How we can write good textbook? I say the good textbook. And finally, we have a discussion on one of the very, very important recommendations on national education policies, 10 begless days. How to implement it? The national education policy has recommended the students from class 6 onwards spend at least 10 days on different vocations. No formal teaching like science, math, other subjects, that will not be taught. Students will be involved in different local vocations along with the local resource persons. So that can be implemented, because you have to guide the teachers at the school level, at the local level, how to implement this idea, and we'll discuss on that. And finally, professional development of teacher educators. Because I am a teacher educator and you are the teacher educator, you need to develop your professionalism. Because unless you grow professionally, you cannot help others to grow professionally. So therefore, what are the means of professional development? What need to do on professional development? the different modalities, different techniques. So during 3 days, the overall discussion will be given on school education, the pedagogy, the technology, the different methods, the assessment, and professional development. Of course, we will be discussing on teacher education, pre-service, in-service, lot of things. And the beauty of this program is that we have a ICT studio in RI Bhubaneswar, and we will provide you a hands-on experience how to create video contents. You will be divided into groups and you will visit to our studio. Our technical staffs are there, the producers are there, the sound engineers are there, the cameramans are there. They will explain about their role, how you can create a good video content that is appealing to students, even all the stakeholders. And one more group will be visiting the different department, different section of the RI at the same time. Because our library, one of the oldest library in the Eastern region, you will find many classic books in our library donated by different foreign agencies. I think you must visit our library. Find time to visit the library. It's open up to 8 o'clock. So not only that, we have a biology museum. We have a botanical park. We have a publication division and cell counter for NCERT books. I think you should visit all these sections, because regional institution is one of the model teacher education institutes, and we have been implementing the 4-year PhD integrated program since more than, I think, 40 years. Therefore, you should visit different sections. It will give you a holistic understanding of a teacher education programs. And the most important point is you have a school like demonstration multi-purpose school, one of the oldest school in Bhubaneswar that offers education from class pre-primary to 12th class. That also you should visit. I hope that this 3-day training program definitely will develop your understanding, your skill, and once you go back to the diet and JCERT, I think you better empowered, you more skilled, so that you can discharge your duty more. I think this is something, the brief about your program. Now I have designed this program in different way, and my colleagues, the resource persons, will be coming. They will be discussing with you, they will be interacting with you. I suggest all of you don't sit idle, rather you should be active. You should ask them questions. You should participate in the discussion. The more and more you participate in the discussion, more and more you will learn. Simply sitting idle is not useful, not fruitful. I suggest once again, everybody should try to be very active during the session, try to interact with the resource person, get clarification, even you give your comments. You have many success stories. You have very innovative ideas. That innovative idea you should also share with the resource persons. I think that is something, in service training program, that must be interaction. It is not like I have to speak from one side. You have to come, you have to raise your hand, you have to ask question. That is something I expect from you. I think some kind of a vibrant academic discussion should take place during the 3 days program. Then I have another issue that I want to discuss with you in my absence, since I am physically not here. I will be joining with you on 22nd. Another issue I have developed a format. I say feedback cum assessment format. I want feedback from you on each and every session about the content, about the resource person, about the modalities of the resource person. Because feedback is very, very important to revise the program, to modify the program, to improve the program in the latest. So therefore, I have developed a Google form, and I want at the end of every session, you should fill the Google form. I can see, of course, I'm not here in Bhubaneswar, but I can see how many participants are responding and what they are learning, what is their opinion about the training program. Therefore, this is one of the compulsory requirement. Every session, you have to give the feedback. You can give the feedback, or you can write the feedback during the tea break or during the lunch break or at the evening at the end of the program. But every day, 4 feedback must come to the Google form. I can see that so many people are responding. What is their opinion about the training program? What more we can do for that? So let me show you the few questions that I have prepared for feedback and assessment. Let us see, and if you have any question, that also I can explain to you. If you see here, the way I said, the title is the title of the form is, this is a feedback assessment format for capacity building for diet and faculties. And the program, as you know, that will start from 20th and it will end 22nd. And the first question is your name. You must write your name. And the second is the date of the program. 20th is the first date, then 22nd, and the third is the 22nd is the last day. You must mention the date of the program. Then I told you, every day there are 4 sessions. So if you are giving feedback for the session 1, so you just click on session 1. Suppose you want to give feedback on session 3, click on session 3, because there are 4 sessions every day. But you have to give feedback for each and every session. That means 4 feedback per day. The name of the resource person, I have written here the name of a list of resource person I have written. But if you found that resource persons names are not mentioned here, so I have given you option, you can use the other. You can write the other option because the names are not listed. And topic for the session, the title of the discussion of the resource person that you can mention here. Then relevance of the topic for you as a professional. I want the content that I decided. I felt this content are important, essential, relevant for you. But what you feel as a teacher, educator, diet faculty, whether this topic is relevant for you, required for you. So you have to click here. That's a 5-point scale. So 1 is not relevant, 5 is highly relevant. So relevant of the topic of each session, first session, second session, third session, fourth session, what is the relevance of the session? You can click on it. Then competency level of resource persons. So you can less competent to fully competent. You can mark it. Suitability of pedagogy used during the session. What method the resource person has adapted. Whether the resource person only spoken or allowed you to participate in the discussion, ask you question, or initiated a group discussion activity. So you can give your judgment on 1 to 5 scale. And the most important point I want from you is the write 10 important points that you learn from the session. So you have to write 10 important points from the session that you have just finished. 10 important points. You please write down 10 important points here. Session 1, 10 important points. Then the next question important is, how learnings from this session will help you in your profession? We have discussed about the learning outcomes, but how the learning outcome will help you in your profession? You are working in diet, you are working in JCERT. How understanding of the learning outcome will help you? That also you write here. And my final question is, Out of all learnings from this session, which one you will implement in your work context fast and how? So we have discussed many things in the particular session, but which one you feel that I have to take this issue and I have to implement once I go back to the diet and when I go back to the JCERT, and how I will start implementation? Because we are giving training so that you can do something more or effective in your diet and JCERT. So therefore, which one you prefer to implement in your diet or JCERT, and how you will implement it? I think this is in brief about the feedback, which is compulsory and which is essential. On basis of your feedback, you will be assessed, and accordingly the certification will be given to you at the end of 3 days training program. And one thing I want to tell you here, if you feel difficulty in writing English, you can write in Hindi also. If you are facing difficulty in writing English, you can write in Hindi. I feel language should not be a bar, so you can write in your own language. And I would like to thank all of you, for your anticipating that you will be participating actively in the program. And to help you in this program, and Dr. Ketki, my colleague, he will be here physically in Bhubaneswar, and he will coordinate the program. Any problem, any issue, anything you want, that you can talk to Dr. Ketki. And along with Ketki, so my research scholar, Ms. Sangeeta will be here, my research scholar. So Rahul will be there, and the one attendant will be there, Mr. Ramesh will be there, and these people, 3 people will help you anything you want from it. And I hope that our training program should be effective, should be useful. So I say thank you all of you, and let us start the program one by one. And anything, I'm ready to listen from you, and I'll be in the WhatsApp group, and anything also you can share there, and definitely I will take up. Of course, I'm not in Bhubaneswar, but I can take up this. So thank you very much once again. Have a nice day. Thank you.